Hi, my name is Nia Walters, and I'm here with the members of the Council Residential Districting Commission. The Council Residential Districting Commission members have spent countless hours dissecting census data, community input, and surveys to help us draft our maps. In 2018, the voters of Columbus voted to add 2 members to council to bring us to 9 members and 9 residential districts. So I want to introduce you to our commission members here this evening. I will start with Commission Chair Malik Moore, Commissioner Jeff Cabot, Commissioner Monica Sarazuela, Commissioner Avery Faust, and Commissioner Dave Paul. Today we will discuss the districting process as we went through and did our maps and how we came to our final product. What is a CRDC?
So the CRDC, the Council Residential Districting Commission, is a commission made up of volunteers. There's 5 of us who are commissioners who volunteer to create 3 maps that will be a better representation of Columbus or have more local representation. And we're just 5 people who have taken the role of being a commissioner and working to create maps that will ultimately lead to a stronger local voice in the city of Columbus.
In creating districts, what are the parameters that are mandated by the city charter?
The charter specifies 7 parameters within which the commission must work. And they are the primary guides of our work, although we're trying to be considerate of many other factors, including the things we've heard from the community over the past 20 or so weeks. Districts must be roughly equal in size by population. That's defined in the charter as the largest and the smallest districts cannot differ by more than 1%. Given that in the 2020 census, the population of Columbus was just a little over 900,000, that means each of the districts need to have a population of around 100,000 people. In addition, the districts we create must comply with federal, state, and local law. They must, wherever possible, respect existing area commissions, civic associations. That's one of the tools that we used actually in developing the maps, was looking at where those areas are located or those groups are located in the areas they serve. Wherever possible, their boundaries should follow geographic features such as perhaps major streets, waterways, etc. They cannot ultimately be designed to favor any particular political party. We cannot devise districts that have the effect of gerrymandering. And if folks are unfamiliar, that is essentially kind of part of the first or the previous point, simply that they can't be designed to favor a particular political party or group.
So how does this change the structure of council?
Well, the argument is that council members living in a specific district will be more responsive to the residents of that district. I'm not sure I believe that. I think the council elected citywide is still going to be responsive to all the districts and all of the citizens of Columbus. But that's the plan.
The voters wanted a stronger neighborhood representation. How will creating council residential districts strengthen the community voice?
With the council members being elected out of specific districts, arguably they will be more familiar with the neighborhood, living in that neighborhood. And so the idea is that for the neighborhood, you have a champion coming out of your neighborhood. That is the thought and the idea. And so that's the basic parameter. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the representative to be elected from the district, you have to have lived in the district for a year.
That's correct.
And so that at least helps with the familiarity of the neighborhood. And I know a number of our advocates and some of our elected officials have been in their neighborhoods for years. And so it could both diversify, having representation from different parts of the city, but then also just really reinforce the neighborhood feel for council.
What were the predominant factors considering creating the district boundaries?
As Commissioner Paul outlined earlier, some of the parameters that were written in the charter that the voters overwhelmingly passed in 2018, those are some of the factors that we absolutely had to consider when drawing these maps. But of course, we as a commission felt very strongly that we needed to have the public input throughout this process. We were very intentional from the beginning, hosting, I believe, 8 public meetings throughout every quadrant of the city, hearing from area commission, civic association leaders about what makes their neighborhood unique, what characteristics define their neighborhood. And in addition to that, we really tried to take into public input as much as we could with the a survey that we had put out. We had over 2,000 respondents to that. And so those are the things that we incorporated while we were going through the map process, of course, keeping in mind the parameters of what we were defined to do as we were drawing these districts. We really wanted to reflect the communities, the neighborhoods, their desires and their characteristics while drawing these districts.
Could you talk about how the public comment that we used to input to draw the draft maps released on October 7th?
First of all, as Commissioner Sarazuela mentioned, we did have a number of community meetings. There was also a survey that was conducted online. And I think many of us also spoke with our neighbors and friends, and they provided us with some guidance and thoughts that we used in the process. But as we were going through the process, we often spoke about some of that input we received, kind of tested our ideas in terms of where districts made sense to reside against some of the criteria that our neighbors had provided us. So it was, I think, a very open process, and we did have a lot of useful community input. And of course, I'm sure we'll get some feedback on the maps that we've now produced.
What are the next steps for the CRDC?
The next steps is we look at the public comment we've received so far. We review that. We continue to look at the maps that we've already created. And honestly, we've gotten so into the process. We have additional maps that are on queue that we may look at those again through another lens, aligning those to some of the public comment. All of our meetings are in an open meeting forum. And so we may look at those, look at the comment, and as each of the commissioners lifts up opinions, thoughts, and voices, we may make some adaptations with the extra time that we have.
Thank you, Commissioner Chair Moore. I just want to thank you all for your service. This is a major step forward in the process of uniting our city and strengthening our collective voices in our communities. This process will be wraps up in December of 2021. Council will vote on the maps. We will have one map that will go into place for the council election cycle of 2023. So we look forward to all of the things that will happen in between now and then, and we encourage you to let your voice be heard and for you to stay engaged in this process. For more information about the Council Residential Districting Commission's work, please visit our website at www.columbus.gov/districting commission. Additionally, if you're looking for information about the maps and want to include your public comments, again, that's www.columbus.gov/districting commission. Thank you.